And we are live from New York. Hi, this is Carol Mikowski, and welcome to the Bold Team Hangout tonight, Tuesday, August 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So tonight we are going to talk about where the hell are you going? And there's a lot that goes behind that. I'm going to set a couple of ground rules. First of all, if you're in the chat, I'm going to ask you to announce your name, say hello, where you're from, because it helps us to know where the different time zones are. If you have any questions, any comments, put them in there. They'll be monitored, and people will get back to you as we go along. So we'd love to have your participation. Also, as far as the team is concerned, I found out that I'm somewhat like Diane Hochman in that way. I don't like to just sit here and pontificate. So if somebody wants to jump in and say something, have a comment, whatever, don't wait till the end. You want to interrupt me, go right ahead. Just jump in, raise your hand, whatever you want to do. Okay? So that being said, let me go down the line here so everybody has an opportunity to introduce themselves. And I am going to start with Michelle.
Hello, Michelle Eves from Mississippi. Internet marketer and aspiring internet mogul like Jamie. Thanks, Carol. Can't wait. I got to jump off early, but I can't wait to participate while I'm here.
Good, good. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, and next to Michelle, we have Jamie.
I can't believe I'm next to Michelle.
Yes.
The other internet mogul. Jamie Donnelly, New Jersey. I teach people like Michelle how to be internet moguls, obviously, and I'm cracking up that we just came off a beaten straight into this live, and I'm so excited. Nobody knows but us, but it's so awesome. There's a lot of love here tonight, guys. There's a lot of love. It's palpable. It's palpable. I can't wait to see where the hell we're going.
Ooh, great. I'm liking that. Thanks, Jamie. Good to have you here. And certainly last but not least, my beloved spouse.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my name. Hi, I'm Ellie Walsh. On the other end of the house in upstate New York. Where are you going? In essence, that's what I was just talking about in a very calm and loving way. Whatever. Let's go do this. This is a huge topic. This is a huge topic. There is no way we're going to get this all in, but I mean, I certainly hope any of you that are with us live or watching the replay that it gets you thinking, because there's a lot of different little facets in here that truly one idea, one aha out of this can be life-changing. I truly, truly mean that. And we do need to say this. We can't stay on till 9 o'clock tonight. We got to get off like 10 or 15 minutes early because we're jumping on another call, and I have to go to the bathroom in between. That's all there is to it, okay? So let's do this, Carol.
Okay, you took the words out of my mouth that we do have to get off a little bit early. But a lot of things have happened in the last few days, couple of weeks, that have converged and brought this topic to a head as far as I'm concerned. And it started off with a company event that we attended, the 12th of August through that weekend. And the owners of the company, the speakers at the event, Dr. Joe Dispenza, you may have heard that name from What the Bleep and his books that he's written. Oh gosh, I can't think of the title of it right this minute, but I've read it once and a half, and we'll be finishing it the second time around. And he did a fantastic meditation with us, and he talked about coming out of yourself into the future, creating yourself in the future, and making the future now. And each time you do this, and each time you do a meditation along those lines, when you get up from the meditation, you should be a different person. Otherwise, why bother? Okay, so the question being, where the hell are you going? What actually spurred this on for me was a live that was done by our coach, Keisha Bass, a couple of days ago. And that, on top of the event that we attended, really knocked my socks off. She is quite a person, Keisha, and she asked that question. She didn't put the hell in there, but she said, "Where are you going?" And she is certainly going some places. And that live that she did was absolutely epic. I got to say that. So, funny thing happens. You hear something a lot of times. You hear it over and over. And you say, oh, yeah, I've heard that before. Oh, yeah, I've heard that before. And all of a sudden, bam, you hear it for the 97th and a half time. And you say, holy crap. I didn't get that before. Now I know what the hell he means or she means or whatever. And it's like boing, 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 all these light bulbs go off and all these things come together and you change. You make a change and you start moving. And what Keisha was saying was, if we're not going someplace, if we're not moving someplace upward, why on earth would anybody want to follow us? And sometimes, I just said upward, sometimes it requires a sideways move before you can move upward. For example, if you're hanging out with people, if you're under the influence of people who are all naysayers and they're holding you back, and all of a sudden you realize it and you say, I got to get the hell out of here. So you go and you make some more friends and you start hanging out with different people. In a sense, well, yeah, it's upward, but still it's a little bit sideways. And then from those, the influence of the new people that are surrounding you, then you start rising up. And, I've read that book, what the heck is the name of that one too? Your Why, What's Your Why? I've read that twice, and I got some stuff out of it, but I never really, really understood what is your why. I hear people say, oh, my children are my why. Yeah, of course they're your why. You want to take care of them, you love them, you want to provide for them. Your spouse is your why, same reason. You love your spouse, you want to mutually take care of each other and be in good space together, good relationship. Some people, their church, their extended family, their parents, whatever it might be, that's my why. You hear people say, yeah, it is their why, but it's not the ultimate why. And here's what brought this home for me. When Keisha said the other day, imagine that Oprah Winfrey invites you onto her show. What would you talk about? What thing do you have to say that would help the world, the community, whoever it is that you're addressing? What change could you make, would you hope to make, by what you would be speaking about? That is your why. That's your message. Now, if you've ever read that book, The Millionaire Messenger by Brendan Burchard, he speaks about, everybody has a purpose and everybody has an ability to edify others and to help other people change their lives. And that's a great book, by the way. If you haven't read it, I would certainly recommend it. And some of us have more than one purpose, certainly. Some people are fantastic musicians and raise the caliber of the music industry by their contributions, and at the same time they might be a philosopher or something and share some information about how they see the world, etc. And there could be a couple of different things going on with them. So sometimes as people we have one purpose, There are other people who have multi-purposes. So, whatever they are, the idea is to go in a direction, raise yourself. Excuse me. Now, these purposes and where we're going can be on different levels, like Ellie was saying before. There's all kinds of things where this topic can go. It can be on a spiritual level, can be on a material level, can be on a behavioral level. That's like mind, body, spirit. On a spiritual level, where do you see yourself going? On a behavioral level, on a body level, do you see yourself taking care of yourself, having good health, taking care of your health, behaving in such a way, acting in such a way that you're going to enhance your spirituality and your material goals. And materially, you might be in business, you might have a job, you might have neither, you might just stay at, I shouldn't say just, but you might be at home raising a family, whatever it is. That would be how you take care of things on a material level. And where are you going with that? So with that, I'm going to talk for a minute about vision. Every time I hear people talk about vision in the online industry, in the network marketing industry, I say, yeah, that's nice to have a vision, and okay, I want to be on the beach one day. I love that, but that's not really what it is. We're going back to, what would you talk about if Oprah invited you on her show? That kind of thing is the vision, and I really didn't get that. It didn't sink in until recently with the convergence of all these other things that have been going on. So what I want to say about that is I didn't understand how important it was to have a vision. I thought, like I said, yeah, I want to be on the beach someday. I want to, have enough money to get my bills paid up to date, blah, blah, blah. That's my vision. Well, it's not my vision. Those are some goals that I have, which, fine, it's good to have goals. But if you don't have a vision, you don't know where the hell you're going. You don't have a direction. And if you don't know what your direction is, then how do you know how to get there? So, yeah, a vision can be broken down then into goals, more material type things, and this is where the planning comes into play here. You want to have ideas about where you're going to go, how you're going to get there, because if you don't have a plan of how you're going to get there, you ain't going to get there more than likely, unless it's just by some crazy happenstance. So just at this point, I have some more things to say, but I'm wondering, does anybody want to jump in here and say anything?
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
Go for it, Jamie.
So last year, I'm gonna ask you a question actually.
Go ahead.
But last year I had a challenge. I was in this Inspiration Challenge group, and I was challenged at the end to speak my vision in front of a bunch of people I didn't know. First of all, that's really scary. But put that aside. Put the public speaking and strangers and all that aside, and let's just focus on the fact for tonight's purposes that I had to speak my vision. Period. What was it? What was my vision? You know what I mean? And I thought, maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe I want to help families. Maybe I want to see people, families first, or parents, or this, or help kids. I don't know. But it wasn't any of that. I actually wound up just bleh. Like it was like my vision came out of me like I puked a rainbow, Bleh. And it was really, I'm surprised I didn't cry when I did it, but it was a huge thing. And at the time, it's what I wanted. I didn't know how I was going to get to where I wanted to be with this vision, which was basically, to simplify it, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but to simplify it, just to either to make people realize like they are inspiring, or that to either inspire them or to know that they are inspiring as a whole. Like that's basically what it was. So it was really awesome. I think it was probably one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me, because I did not sit and write it down, which probably would be smart to do, and like see it through, visualize it and all that. But anyway, it's amazing. It's a big, visions are big. I'm having a really good time with it right now. But what about you? What is your vision?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that, because I was just going to say that I think that there are times some people have a very clear vision. I came into this notion later in life, so I don't have a really, really crystal clear vision as yet, but it's in the making. So far, I want to empower people. I'm not a 20-year-old, obviously, and many people in my era had visions at one time. I did, certainly when I was 20 years old. I had hopes of and ideas of doing this and that and whatever. Through the years, you get caught up in life, making a living, raising a family, whatever, and you just kind of not everybody does, but I think most people do get stuck in this rut, and you just go along, and you kind of lose track of what anything like a vision would be. You're just trying to get through every day and maybe have some fun somewhere along the line. So lately I started thinking about it again, and I love to help people reach their potential, empower people, if you will. Exactly what venue, I don't know. Right now, certainly it's in this business field. I love to see people make it. I love to see people click on, oh, yeah, I can do that, and that kind of thing. I also love real estate. I absolutely love real estate, and I would love to be able to help people who have never had homes, don't know how to manage a home, learn how to do that, and learn how to get into one of their own, if that's what they want. If they don't want it, fine. So there's a couple of different things, but those are the kinds of things that I toy with.
And it's funny that you don't always have to know what your vision is right away. Sometimes it just happens, right? Am I the only one who feels that way? Michelle's nodding her head. She feels that way too. Like, I don't know. I didn't know I really had one, because I couldn't see past my own initial needs and what I wanted, to see bigger than myself, but or what the big picture was. But yeah, I think it's okay. Like you said, I don't know exactly how it, but I think that's okay. It's gonna kind of work itself out, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it just happens. I think it's probably bubbling underneath somewhere, and somehow we all of a sudden get insight into it, and
tap into it.
Yeah, exactly. Tap into it, and it comes to the fore. That's kind of what I would think.
That's kind of what happened with me and my vision. It's always bothered me that celebrities and sports people and all those, they sit and they worry about feeding kids in other countries, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that, but we have starving kids here too, even though it's America. But it's always bothered me every time I would see something. I would just mutter under my breath, but I never thought it would be a vision until January of this year, when we had a big snowstorm and our county was deciding whether or not they were going to close school because of kids who don't get meals. And so it just, like, bam, all of a sudden, huge vision, huge. And I never would have thought in December that would have been the vision that I have now. So I believe that, you know, it might tap into a power that something that you've had that you've been thinking about for, you know, for a long time. You just don't realize it until something sparks it. Yeah, I don't believe it just comes out of nowhere, though.
You know what I mean? But I remember the day you put this video. It was a video, right? You put this video up,
Yes.
and I sat on the other side of Michelle's video, crying, and like I could see it hit me, you know, that these facts that you were putting out there, and it was like, oh my God, and it's just something. It just strikes a chord. Like, yeah, like it was really. It affected me. And look, Michelle's actively working on that vision. Like, she participates in that vision already, right, Michelle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, two things here. Jamie, you put out that somebody must have recorded that talk that you gave in front of those people, and you put it out once. And actually, I know about that inspiration because I was involved in that too at a different time. But I thought that was ballsy what you did, and I had the greatest admiration for your doing that. I don't know that I could ever do that.
Thank
in front
you.
of a bunch of strangers.
It was hard to do. It was hard to do, but I think that was the point. Right,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was great to have a lot of people, and even the owners. It was at a winery, and even the owners were saying like, "Wow, we didn't even know that our vision could touch people's vision. You know, that what we wanted could really, yeah, like it really touches people's lives as well." So it was great that at least it did what it did even more than just what the challenge was. The vision was that people realize that they are inspiration, and they are inspirational to other people, and they touch people's lives, and right, and it happened like right in front of me, that people were having those realizations afterwards. So that was pretty cool.
And for yourself, I'm going to guess that you realized that you could do something that you didn't know that you could ever do. And that's where you were going.
Yeah, that's. Guess what? I didn't die.
Right, exactly. Michelle, I also saw that video that you did about the topic that you were just talking about, hunger, and your realization of it and what have you. And yes, that was certainly something that touched the heart. I'm a retired social worker, and one of the jobs that I had in my career was an ombudsman for people who were needy and were having difficulty getting connected with the services that they needed. And I remember, I'll never forget this as long as I live. One day, a woman came into my office, and it was towards the close of the day, and she had no food for herself or for her kids. I can't remember. She had 2 or 3 kids. And she didn't know what to do, and you know, my job was to see if I could get her connected with something to at least get some food for tonight, and then tomorrow we'll deal with the situation from there on. This woman was so distraught that while she was telling her story and explaining her frustration, her situation, she actually threw up in my office, and I mean, I'll just never forget that as long as I live. It brings tears to my eyes right now when I think about it. So that said, yes, you know, back in the 60s, there was, I think it was 1964, there was a book written by Michael Harrington called The Other America. And that's when, quote unquote, the war on poverty started, because he brought out the situation of poverty in this country that, you know, a lot of people didn't realize that there was. And he wrote about it, and I think that was in Johnson's time, Lyndon Johnson's time, and he started this war on poverty, and, you know, some services were set up to help people and blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, we went along, and that, all of that stuff kind of has fallen by the wayside as time went on. And now, only now, people are beginning to become aware of the extent of the existence of poverty in this country now, and you know, the need for something to be done. But I don't want to get stuck on that right now. Let's get into you know, how we can raise that. What can we do to raise that up? And I'm going to get into that by going through the back door. And the question is, what happens if we don't do anything about our vision? What happens if we don't even work on having a vision, don't even think about having a vision? We don't have one. Well, what happens is, I guess what happened to me for a long time, and that was that, you know, I just went through life on a day-to-day basis, you know, hoping to get my bills paid, hoping to put food on the table, hoping to have a little fun on the weekends, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And just moving along, but not rising up, not going up, as Keisha said. There was no reason for anybody to follow me in those days. I didn't even know where I was going. So, you know, when you get a vision, you start moving in a direction, and hopefully, I mean, that's the idea of what a vision is, to motivate ourselves into moving upward, into then taking the action, the behavioral stuff that needs to be done in order to move on. And self-awareness comes into this in a huge amount. And that's actually our best asset, self-awareness. So, you know, we can find out, what is it that we need in order to progress? What is it that we're lacking that we can work on in order to move onward? And you know, this is the kind of stuff that came together at the event that we were at, and that Dr. Dispenza talked about in terms of it's. I think Jamie, I think you're doing his what's the word I want?
The meditations?
Thank you, meditation. All I could think of was motivation. The meditation, aren't you?
I am doing the morning and evening meditations, yes.
And Ellie and I are as well. I don't know. You do your own meditation, I think, right, Michelle? Yeah. And I think that's a big step into self-awareness. Let me pull Ellie into this. I'm sure she has something to say about something on this topic.
And you know what? I'm just going to say about moving in some direction. Don't let Ellie talk. I'm talking now. No, I'm kidding. I feel almost like I started to move in a direction without even knowing I was moving in a direction towards the vision. Like, I think it's good to have a plan and to know what direction to move in, but I think I moved towards it and made moves sort of without really being so very conscious of that. Does that make sense, Ellie? Yeah?
Sure,
Okay,
and what we're all talking about. I mean, obviously, this doesn't just come out of nowhere. And the other word for this is purpose. And I believe we all have a purpose. And most people don't know what it is because they are too focused, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. They have to be that focused on taking care of their own needs. You know, then we could go back into that whole poverty thing, but it doesn't matter, all right? And so then most people say, or just dealing with life on a day-to-day basis, okay? Because we've never, I know I wasn't taught that I had a purpose, okay? And I was, you know, told go get a good job, okay? You can make a lot of money, but I wasn't taught that I had a purpose. And I think these words screw people up. Vision, your why, your purpose. People are like, huh? Because when people come into online marketing, I don't think anybody dreamed of being an online marketer. I mean, maybe little kids do now because everything's about online. I don't know, all right? So maybe
I want to be a YouTuber.
Right, maybe the kids that are being raised by the online marketers do now, but I don't think any of us were like, oh my God, I just can't wait to be an online marketer. And, you know, I know, like, when I got online and people said, you can make money online, I was like, yeah, let me go see how to do that. So I think that's everybody's purpose. That's what they feel it is anyways at first. And it especially is because I need to pay my car payment, I need my mortgage, I need to feed my kids, whatever it is. Okay? And so that is the first purpose. And actually, especially if you're a family, but for yourself too, all right? Having food and clothing and shelter is a purpose. Go ahead, I see you.
So isn't that like your purpose when you get into your vision or online marketing or whatever your purpose? Isn't that the same? Unless you're a doctor or have like some major skill set, your whole purpose of a job is to make money, pay the car, the mortgage, the bills, the this, the that, right? So why would it be any different when we become an online marketer?
That's right. And actually, a lot of doctors, that whole purpose is to make money. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
I don't know that there is any reason why it's different for an online marketer. However, I think that because online marketers do more personal development work probably than most other folks do, that we begin to become aware of these things, these questions.
Wait a
Not
minute.
everybody, but these questions come into our minds.
We become
And
aware
also,
of them because of the personal development.
We get challenges. We get challenges since we're in business for ourselves that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Because whatever it is that comes out of you, and I would believe that there's more. You always have more. You always have more vision or more purpose. But it was there all along. But all the committee members and all the stuff and all the dealing with life and all the, it drowned it out. So because exactly what you said, because we talk so much about personal development, all right, it comes up to it. You want to know who else must talk about personal development a lot or read about it and all, is really top CEOs. I'm talking about top CEOs, the people who are reading, hundreds of books, all right? They have to. And usually they have communities they work with, within themselves, and they're masterminding together, and they're masterminding because you're stepping up, because as you start to step in and you start to see that your life, like Michelle's video you're all talking about, I saw that video. It affected me. I saw Jamie's video that you're talking about, all right? That affected me. When you start to realize that the information you put out there affects other people, okay, it then does become more than money. And you can take care of your needs and make money, and you can make good money. You can make a freaking lot of money, okay? That's good, all right? But it's when you realize, because if it's always just about the money, that's the people you see go flat. You do just see them go flat. And I don't believe even for them, all right? I just think they haven't been in communities like this where you're talking about it, and they haven't taken the time to recognize it. So, if somebody's sitting here and they're kind of new, or they're, and they're thinking, I don't have a vision, I don't have a purpose, and no, I believe you do, but your first need, okay, is your purpose at that moment. And that's where you're going. I need to take care of this need. I need to take care of this need. That's where you're going. Go there. Go there. Because as you do that, you take care of the next need. I need to take care of this need. Go there. Okay? Because then it expands. Then you get a message from somebody that says, wow, I saw that video you put out, or that blog post you wrote, or that Facebook thing, and you really touched me. Then you go, oh. For me, for a long time, I always knew it was about reaching other people. I just did. I had this thing about, if I can do this, you can do this. and I'm going to show people how. Anything in life. If I can do was, if I can, because they wanted me to live in the box, and I don't fit in the box. I don't fit in the box. I always knew I didn't fit in the box. I'm going to find a way to live my life being true to me, and I have a lot of conflict in that, all right? And if I can do this, so can you. I'll show you how. There's always been my message. I'll be quiet.
Well, like Jamie was saying too before, I think that the two of you are saying the same thing, that you might not see the vision right away, you might not be aware of it right away, but like incrementally, you find your way to whatever your mission, purpose, vision, whatever word you want to put on it, is. And darn, there was something you said that kicked off something, and it's just went out of my head right now. Poof. Poof, indeed. At any rate, it's kind of like peeling an onion here as you go through the different levels that there are. I know for myself too. I didn't have the belief. I didn't want to disappoint myself. I remember one time I was doing well at work. I got some kind of kudos for something I had done. And, I was riding high. I came home and shared it and felt good about myself. And oh, isn't that great, blah, blah, blah. And about 2 days later, I can't remember exactly what it was, something happened and, excuse me, proverbial shit hit the fan. and I got, it was certainly not praised for whatever was going on. And, I came home that night and I said, I am so tired of these highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows. I don't want to live like that anymore. So let's just find a middle road, a medium way. And, we might not have those big highs, but great. At least I won't be disappointed and feel bad about myself and have these lows either. So that must be what life is all about, to find a middle of the way. And that was my goal for however many years that was. I don't know, long time. And it wasn't fun. It was just it was boring.
It was mediocre.
Come again?
It was mediocre.
Mediocre.
It was average.
Average, exactly. So, that's not what we're about. As again, going back to that book by Bouchard, The Millionaire Messenger, he talks about this. He says we all have something in us. What brought it out in him is an interesting story. He was he just had I think he was just splitting up with his girlfriend or something. And he went down to was it the Dominican Republic with a friend of his, and they were, I think, working construction or something. They were riding along the road late at night, and they were, I guess, speeding a little bit, and there was construction, and they lost control of the car going around a corner, and the car flipped over, and they went flying, and the car went flying, and they both survived, but he came out of it. He climbed out of the car, and his blood coming down all over the place. His friend was all full of blood and what have you. And, he talked about, getting struck with, oh, my God, this is what it's all about. He said, there's got to be more to life than this. There were 3 questions he asked himself. Have I lived? Have I loved? I can't remember the last one, but it's in that same vein. And that's when he decided that we all have more in us than what we think we have. And he started to pursue it for himself, and he's been spending the rest of his life helping other people find it in themselves so that they can elevate themselves.
And he's very wealthy doing it.
Yes.
Very, very, very wealthy. I saw Jamie's video today too. There's some people get all like screwed up right about making money when you're helping people, and it's like, I mean, if you're providing, a good service, you deserve a good pay. A high service, a high pay. It's simple. It's simple, okay? It's expected from us when we go out there and we get service or products or what have you. You know, Brendan Bouchard makes a lot of freaking money. A lot, all right? But he gives a lot, but he makes a lot of freaking money. So, and I believe it's because he stepped into his purpose. And when you step into your purpose, when you really step into it, you have to step into your self-worth. You have to. So people that are shying from it, because they have that thing of, I have nothing special to give anybody. I'm just, just like everybody else, and I do believe everybody's here for a purpose. I don't think it's carved in stone. But I believe everybody is here. Everybody's here for greatness. Nobody sucks. It's all stupid word we say about each other and about ourselves, and everybody's purpose is here. It might be sometimes to piss somebody off so that they step into their greatness. So that's cool.
Yeah, and this next week's topic is going to be, this week was where the hell are you going? Next week, it's what the hell are you doing? Okay? What the hell are you doing is next week's topic, I think, because you know what? What the hell are you doing?
Right. That's right. Why aren't you finding out where the hell you're going? Okay. And then when you're finding it out, what the hell are you doing to get there? What the hell? You got to do something. What the hell?
I think that we should have a whole series, a fall series of hell or other expletives. Where the hell are you going? What the hell are you doing? Who the hell are you?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
And just have some. It's like what the hell series.
What the hell series? I think that's a good idea.
Well, that's exactly the point that I was trying to make in the beginning. That, and I'm glad you just hit the nail on the head when I said that, this relates to three different things: materially, behaviorally, and spiritually. And it's if you don't have a plan, you're not going to get there. And I'm sorry, let me start again, because it didn't have to do with those three things at all. It had to do with the planning. Forget the material, spiritual, whatever.
Edit that part out, please, and start again. Go.
That's another piece. But it has to do with the planning. Where are you going, and what are you doing? There's the behavioral piece I was talking about. The action. What are you doing behaviorally? What massive action are you taking in order to get yourself there? What is massive action? Jamie knows about that.
Yeah, that's poo-poo confusing words. Massive action. What action? I'm doing lots of actions every day. None of them are doing anything for my business.
Bingo.
Massive action. I just stalked 50 people on Facebook. Do you know what they had for dinner? That does not help me. What the hell are you doing?
You're right. What are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, we gotta go.
We do got to go.
Yep, we do. So, where are you going? Why would people want to follow you?
Tell us in the chat when you watch this. If you hear it live, tell us. If you're watching the replay, tell us in the chat.
Right. Ellie, I'm going to ask you to close us out.
So we are going out of here. We have a really important meeting, all of us, in a few minutes, and we have to pee first. So we're here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You never know what the hell the topic is going to be. We are the Bold Team. Belief, opportunity, lifestyle, and destiny. That is what we stand for. We truly are changing lives. All of the people you're seeing here, and Michelle had to step out a little early today, the people on this team, on the Bold Team, they know their purpose. They know where they're going. And they live it, and they help others do it. So if you want to be a part of this team, getting back with the person who invited you here, if you're looking to grow your business and you're frustrated and you're not sure what to do, get back to the person who invited you here, because that's what we know how to do. We know how to grow businesses. We know how to grow you. We will see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern. You have to turn us out, Carol.
I will. It's been a pleasure, everyone. Thank you so much for your participation. And for anyone who watches the replay, as Ellie said, get in touch with the person who invited you here if you have any questions or comments or are interested in pursuing this. So good night for now, and we will see you next week.